Okay, so here we have a great recording already laid down. Let's briefly review the processing tools that we're going to need in order to get a pro vocal tone. Then we'll dive deeper into each later in the course. Now, disclaimer, there's no hard and fast rule as to the order of the processors that you use in a vocal chain. But we're going to show you a great starting point that will work for 99% of the vocals that you'll end up recording. So the first step is to use Corrective EQ to remove any unwanted rumble. Typically, this just means using a high-pass filter. We're using the high-pass filter on FGS set to cut all of the lows below about 80 to 100 Hz. Be sure to pay attention to how apparent the low frequencies are when the high-pass filter is bypassed.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
Adjust this until it gets rid of the rumble on your particular recording. The 80 to 100 Hz is only a suggestion. So our next step is to add compression to smooth out the dynamics of the vocal. Now, let's not worry too much about the settings here just yet, because we're going to go more in depth on that later in the series. But for now, we're going to just listen and see how the waveform has much more controlled dynamics after using compression.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
Sometimes you might stack multiple compressors to get more tone out of your vocal. A great compressor to do this with is the FG2A.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
We're going to want to add an EQ again, but this time instead of using it to only take away frequencies, we're going to use this EQ as a way to shape the overall tonality of the vocal. We can actually add clarity by carving out some low mids here and boosting some high mids right here.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
So our next step is a Deesser to calm the sibilance that may have been brought up by the compression. And this should make our vocals sound less harsh.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
A great tone shaping tool for vocals is also going to be fresh air. This is going to add high frequency presence and crispiness to your vocals without adding a single bit of harshness.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
So finally, after all this tone shaping, we're going to add our time-based effects, which are reverb and delay. We do this by using sends in our DAW. Essentially, the send will route audio from our vocal track to an aux track that has our reverb and delay plugins loaded up. This will give our vocals a lush sense of space and life. And don't worry, we'll go over the specifics of how to set this up later in the course. But for now, let's take a listen.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
So there you have it. Those are all the elements of a vocal chain that will give you a modern sounding vocal mix. Now let's take a listen before and after this simple processing chain is applied.
Late night, uptight, thinking to myself, is this right, this feeling, this man I call my own? But your lies and your cries, I'm better on my own.
This is just a quick example of the types of vocal chains you'll be able to build after going through this course. We're going to go deep on each of the steps of this process and give you tons of tips for how to get any vocal to sound pro. If you want to get instant access to all of these incredible sounding tools that you're seeing in these videos and take your production quality to the next level, then join the Slate Digital All Access Pass. It has over $5,000 worth of award-winning plugins, the industry's most powerful new synth, Anna 2, which has tons of production-ready presets. There's royalty-free sample packs and masterclasses taught by legendary producers and engineers, all starting at just $9.99 per month.